Welcome back to the channel. As always, if you copy trading, you are an absolute moron and you deserve to lose all your money. And with that out of the way, we're going to look today at a company called Checkpoint Software Technologies, ticker CHKP. Let's have a look at what these guys do. So they manufacture, oh, excuse me, the wrong ticker got loaded for some reason. Yeah, there we go. So they develop, market, and support a range of products and services for IT. So to cut it short, cybersecurity, right? And they are headquartered in Israel. So rather than a US company, this is an Israeli company, which, as you know, is currently in conflict and could continue to be in that situation or potentially escalate over the next few months. Now, why am I looking at this rate? Well, first of all, we are looking right now at a company in a sector that was bolstered quite a bit during the war of Ukraine. And yes, of course, the Israeli conflict also helped a little bit. All those conflicts did help bolster the valuations in the sector because of demand, right? But now I anticipate that there's going to be a rotation in the market. We have seen that after the presidential election, there's been a massive rally in Bitcoin. There's a chart for Bitcoin. Look at how much Bitcoin has moved, right? And other cryptocurrencies have moved a lot as well. Part of the reason for that is because Trump has expressed a supportive view on this sector. But at the same time, we do have sectors like this, cybersecurity, that in my opinion are not seen as so hot anymore. And if we look at the valuation over time, I think you can see that right away. So let's have a look at how things stood back in 2022. Early 2022, war of Ukraine. And we have touched those peaks in valuation recently, and we are still arguably at elevated levels. Now, that's not the reason why we have seen this drop in valuation, this rotation that I'm talking about. A catalyst recently took place with the company. And what happened essentially was that the company, over earnings, even though the results were not too bad, announced that some deals, so if you have a look here at the last quarter, this one here, sales, okay, yeah, a little bit disappointing, but nothing major. So EBIT, EPS, overall was not terrible. But the real reason why this drop happened is because some deals that were expected to close in Q3 were delayed to Q4. And they signal that this happened particularly in the EMEA region. So the market reacted negatively to this because of concerns on execution and customer demand. Another thing that they mentioned was that they are experiencing acquisition costs of companies that they have acquired, and this is impacting their margins and profitability. They also noted increased workforce costs that are gonna hinder their profitability, and the company provided forward-looking commentary that in terms of guidance was quite conservative, right? So all that doesn't look as an exciting near-term period for the company, especially when if I go back to the example of Bitcoin, but there's many other equities out there that have been returning 30, 40% over the last 3 months. That's very different from the case that we are seeing here, right? So I think that this could be the start of a trend to the downside, which again is already started because of this drop here. But I think as that settles, we could see a little bit of momentum further down the line. And the reason for that as well is that the expectations for the company are not great for next year either. So they are assuming 9% earnings growth over the next fiscal year and only a 5% revenue growth. So when you look at this sector, I mentioned that the sector will likely be out of fashion as a whole, right? But you do have companies out there like Sentinel-1, which I talked about in previous videos, trading at way higher multiples. You have high quality companies that are still large caps, like CrowdStrike, Cyber, Palo Alto Networks. And this one here, which has a market cap of 20 billion, right? This is a mature and established company, is trading at the bottom of the sector. Now, let me just hide this one here to make it a little bit cleaner. It's one of the worst performing sectors, right? And again, if we look at the valuation, has returned to previous levels, whereas other competitors like CrowdStrike have massively increased. So I think this could be the beginning of a more trouble ahead for the company. It has actually had a pretty good run this year, right? Where it started at about 150 and got to an all-time high of 200. So I think there's plenty of room to the downside. But additionally, if our suspicions are confirmed that there's growth deceleration coming, and for the earnings calls add even more uncertainty to their situation, we could see this stock getting into more problems. Now, of course, the Israel conflict is a bit of a wild card here. It could be a hindrance as a risk if perhaps progress is done in terms of calming that conflict, but it could be the opposite too. So with all that, this is one stock that I'm gonna keep on the watch list as a short, and likely will be entering in the early months of the year. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.